So meantime, please provide your details in the chat box. We'll start the class in a few minutes. All right. So please share your details in the chat box. We'll start the class in a few minutes. So your phone number, your email address, so that I can forward you the 2 days recordings. Okay, so please provide your details, your phone number, your email ID, so that we'll keep you update on your mobile numbers and your email IDs with the current recording and documents. So I hope I hope everyone here is for Microsoft Fabric. So anyone who is looking for specifically Data Factory or Power BI, MSBI, Informatica, other tools, so that will be coming sessions. So in this Fabric, we will be covering the Azure also along with Data Factory. Okay. So meantime, please provide your details. So whatever your doubts, questions are there, you just list it out. I'm going to answer your all your doubts and questions once the class is complete. Okay. So meantime, please provide your details in the chat box. So as now we are planned for demo 1 and demo 2. Okay, there are 2 demos. One is completely overview. The other one is live practical example in the second demo. Before going to the second demo, we need to understand what are the services, what are the tools that we are covering under this one, Fabric. Okay, so please provide your details. So these are the services or topics that we are going to cover under Microsoft Fabric. So anyone know what is Microsoft Fabric? Or what is Azure? What is Power BI?
What's Podria?
Yes,
Power BI is a business tool where we give the
business.
more existence power to the Power BI.
Mhm. What about the Azure?
One of the cloud-based services.
Mhm. Any other definition? Okay, no problem. So we are going to see this in this class. So before going to this Azure, Power BI, or a Fabric, we need to understand some few topics. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand what is BA. Okay, so whatever the tool you go in the market, whether it is a many list of tools that we have in the market, Power BI, MSBA, SSIS, RS, AES, right? Cognos, Tableau, ClickView, Informatica, Data Stage. So there are many such tools that we have in our market. Why only the Microsoft? Why we are only selecting the Microsoft? Anyone know that? What are the capabilities? Micro. Yes, anyone know?
I think compared to other tools, it is less cost and more features.
Yes, compared to other, we can say it is a less cost. Any other points? What are the services that included inside your Microsoft Fabric? Okay, we'll discuss it. And how to create. So license for Microsoft Fabric. That also I'll show you. And what are the charges for Microsoft Fabric? Okay, this is mostly people asked. Do you have any free account or do you have any separate other accounts? Okay, so before that, where we are using this Microsoft Fabric, okay, where we are using this Microsoft Fabric. Anyone know where we are? Definitely, you people are here for Fabric course. Maybe you people are using in companies. Maybe you're looking forward for jobs or job change or technology changes. Okay, so these two things you need to understand first. So if you are in the coming in the market for a BA, first we'll understand what is BA. Anyone know what is BA at least?
Yes, business intelligence.
Not full form we want. We
Okay.
want exactly what we
It,
do business intelligence. Okay, what we do inside business intelligence. What is that intelligence, right?
yeah.
What we do exactly in this business intelligence, how it is useful, and what exactly we do in that.
It's actually the analytics, what we do. We analyze the data and we
Okay.
present it. It it's a kind of reporting what we do there.
Okay, reporting. Any other points?
Turn data into useful insights for the decision making, for better decision making.
Decision making, that is very important. Decision making, this is very, very important for a BA developers. Very, very important. Decision making. End of the day, whatever the process you do, the business intelligence is to perform the decisions making on a business level. So that is the reason we are learning for the BA process. So whatever the process to before taking a decisions on a business, we require a proper data, proper information. Then only we can take the decisions on a business. You take an example like your supermarket. What are the products are getting sold, revenue generated or not, and what are the disadvantages, advantages. Once you have a data with you, then only you can take the decision. So to take the decisions for business users, they don't know process what is going on at back end. So we are a BI developers. Whether whatever the tool that you do, there are multiple roles inside a BI development. There are multiple roles inside a BI development. Not only the reporting part, your retail part, your data engineering part, your different roles that we have. That is what inside your fabric. Inside your fabric, you can apply for a multiple different roles. You can use this fabric for your data engineering. You can use this for data analysis. Okay, you can use this data for data science. So we can apply this fabric concept. So we'll discuss what is fabric also. So we going to use this fabric tool or fabric cloud inside your data engineering. We will use in data analysis. We will use in the data science. So there are multiple roles for your fabric. So that is what are the capabilities that we have inside fabric or these different roles. So there are different roles that we have. Before going to different roles, let me give you a brief about myself. So currently I'm working for one of the company called Digital. Okay, I worked with a company called Wipro and I worked with IBM. Currently I'm working as a team lead assistant manager, in a digital company. I was working in the telecommunication project. I worked for supply chain project and was my client is Henkel. So currently I'm taking multiple batches on Azure and Fabric. Okay, there are two batches is going on in the morning. That is 7 a.m. Okay, and we planned for 8 a.m. Already it is some few are confirmed on 8 a.m. And we have a 9 a.m. that is for Azure. Then we have from starting with the fee 6 p.m. batches. One is I'm taking for 5 p.m. is for again back to Azure. 6 p.m. is the MSBA batch. Then we have a 7 p.m. It is under progress. That is for your fabric. Okay. So currently we have a slot for 8 a.m. for fabric. So we are planning this batch for 8 a.m. Okay. 7 a.m. which is already supposed to complete, but it takes some more 1 month to do. A lot of things are there because this course, fabric course, is completely more than 2 months. It will take a lot of many topics. So it is a new tool in the market. It is a cloud-based tool process. What are the services they are providing you in detail level? I'll explain you now. So you'll get more idea in these two demos. Okay, with all the information. So as of now, we will be planning for the batch on 18. Okay, so this is only the one current batch we have. So earlier I used to take on MSBA, and now on request from one to one I'm taking MSBA, and regularly I take a batches for Azure so that we have a comparison, more idea between the Azure and Fabric. So this Azure is also from the Microsoft product. Fabric is also Microsoft product, and MSBA is also Microsoft product. So my entire experience, I have more than 10 plus years experience. The entire experience I was into Microsoft products. So It is very user friendly products. Even the people who want to quickly jump to the job, it's a easy way to use this Microsoft product. You take any product, whether it is a Power BI, MSBI, Azure Concept, Fabric Concept, or SQL, MS SQL database. Anything you take, it is a work on no code or less code process. Microsoft always follow not only the technical people it will target, it also target to the non-technical as well. That is what the more customers it attracts towards these products. Any product you take. So the main reason of this fabric is the main reason for fabric, where you can find all type of work you can do inside a fabric. Earlier, what is happening is that earlier there are multiple cloud providers or cloud platform was released by Microsoft. If you want to work with the data engineering part, you will be using the portal dot azure.com. This is for your Azure cloud. Similarly, for reporting, people are using Power BI.com. They're using it for their reportings. Okay, and for other services, they're using some other cloud. So similarly, Microsoft released this cloud app.microsoft.com. So this is completely for end-to-end process, end-to-end business solution. Even for the data engineering, also people are using like a Databricks. Okay, so they are using some notebooks in Python, in PySpark. They are using separate portal, the databricks.com. So this all process they included in one concept called Fabric. So that is what we call uniform process. Uniform in one single tool. It is a we call this is like a SaaS platform, software as a service. All softwares are included inside a Fabric. So right now, many people don't know about a Fabric because people are already working in this Azure concept. People are working in Fabric. People are working in Databricks. They don't know about the Fabric. The next generation will be a completely Fabric, and there is a more lot of requirement on Fabric. So that is now the importance of this Fabric is who come first, who will get us first for a job. So slowly it is going to get more competition inside of Fabric, like how we got a competition right now in Azure. Similarly in Power BI. So having just one skill is not going to work. Just sir, I'm going to learn Power BI. Will I get a job in this current situation where we are being in AI? So you is not going to get in one tool. Okay, you need to understand all this process. Just learning the reporting is not going to work for a job. So that is what these all concepts are included inside your fab. So there are multiple services you can apply for different roles. That is what we have a different capabilities for Microsoft Fabric. So what are the different capabilities that we have? So different capabilities are like not only we are going to deal with this one, we will deal with the multiple services. Like example, we have a data storages. We have a data storages. We have a data injections. What is that? Injections. Nothing but your ETL process. Okay, nothing but your ETL processing. So you have a data science. You have a data science where you can do your machine learning models. You can develop some machine learning models. So where you have a data models here. So this is for data models. You can develop some semantic models for your quick data analysis for your reporting. Then we have a reports and dashboards. You can develop it. Again, inside a storages, there are multiple storages which is provided by your Microsoft Fabric. Different services provided by Microsoft Fabric. You have a lake house. You have a data lake house or data lake. Inside data lake, again, you have a concept called lake house. Okay, this is completely kind of big data concept. Then we have a data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse, we have a concept. You have a Fabric database. Recently, it is added again. Fabric database. Okay, so you have a KQL databases. KQL databases. Then we have some other databases. Okay, some other databases that we have. So there are different different storages that we have inside your data storages. Okay, so earlier we are just storing a structured data where you can store structured data only. Now we have in the place where we are storing different formats of data, like whether it is a structure, whether it is a semi-structure, whether it is a unstructured, any format of data. What is that? Okay, different formats of data we are storing it. So in Lakehouse, not only just in terms of files, where we have a Parquet file, not only just a Parquet file, you have a CSV file, you have a JSON file, you have some other raw file or some temporary files. It's all Parquet different formats that we are storing it. In warehouse, earlier we are using only database SQL engine, SQL Server engine we are using it. Okay, earlier data warehouse models. Now we have a different data models like Synapse. We are using it. On top of Synapse, we have different algorithms that we have. So it is developed on based on different algorithms. So what is the different algorithms? Different algorithms are nothing but you have a different round robin fashion. It design the data. There is a replication process is there, and there is a hash algorithm, hash technique is there. So there are different techniques that use for your data warehouse. So this is again serverless database that we have. Okay, so again we can do a lot of things inside these databases in terms of injections, data injections. So you have data factory that you have data factory. By using data factory, you can develop some pipelines. Okay, so data pipelines you can develop where it is similar like your ETLs, where you have same like in your Azure Data Factory as well. Say they have implemented data flow concept Gen 2. Okay, it is similar like in your Power BI. You people know the Power Query. So whoever comes with the Power BI people, they know the Power Query operations where we just do the transformations part. Here we can load the data also, data injections. Okay, some people they want to work on other module like Spark. They want to work with Spark, Apache Spark. So we can develop some notebooks. Okay, we can develop the notebooks. You can write a code in any language, whether it's a SQL, Python, PySpark, or some Scala. So whatever the languages that we want to apply, we can apply easily. Okay, so we have a real-time streaming. So whatever the data which is coming, we can store this data in terms of jobs. Okay, we have an option called copy jobs. So these are the different ways that we are doing inside the Microsoft Fabric. So storage is different type. The data ingestion, you have a different requirement type. So earlier, not only with this one, if you are talking about the Azure, we are just dealing with the data factory. Then for a high data, big data queries processing, we will going for a data bricks. Now this is all integrated in a fabric. Similarly, for your real time, you want to apply some copy jobs. Even if you want to work with the data science, you have a machine learning models. You can develop some ML models there. Okay, where you can connect your any notebooks and all. You can write your codes and you can train your data. Similarly, so your data modeling, as I said, there is a semantic model. You can build a relationship between multiple objects. Okay, so that it will be easy for the reporting people who are doing the reporting process. For them it will be very easy. So you can develop the reports dashboard. So for report and dashboard, people are using the Power BI, people are using the Tableau, different tools they are using. They are paying different cost. So right now the fabric is that concept where this all are uniformed in one single tool. You no need to pay separate charges for data storage, separate charges for the data injections, separate charges for the data ML models, separate charges for data model or reporting. Separately, we are using a separate license. So this all are included inside one single tool called Microsoft Fabric Cloud. Okay, so that is what the importance of the Microsoft Fabric. There are different list of again many tools are there, many concepts are there inside of Fabric. These are the high level concepts where we are working with the Azure portals, data flows. So this is just a high level we have given. So Apache Spark notebooks, okay, where we can develop very simple way. If you have a SQL knowledge, we can work with Apache Spark SQL knowledge. And if you know basic SQL, then you can convert that query into the PySpark. So right now, many companies are asking for Databricks. So you no need to go separate portal for Databricks. The data engineering concept we can do inside Databricks. So this is the main architecture of your fabric: uniform service, uniform governance in one single lake. That is we call one lake process, where we have a data factory, where we have data engineering Databricks process. You can do the ML models development in data science, data warehouse, real-time analytics, Power BI. So all type of process, you no need to go separate cloud to do. Okay. Earlier, what happened? Even earlier, we are separately costing it for this one. Okay. And for data factory, we are using for Azure. For data engineering, we are using the other clouds like Databricks, or that is included in Azure Databricks. Data science separate engines we are using it. Data warehouse, which is similar like your SQL Server, same engine we are using it. So separate tools that we are using for different resources or different concepts. But this fabric is a SaaS platform, software as a service platform, where you will find all kind of services. Only you need to work on particular one length. Even the storages also, you no need to go for separate storages where you can store for different projects. If a company having only one process, can anyone easily can access the data for their reporting for data analysis. So they implemented a concept called OneLake. It is similar like your OneDrive, which we use in companies. So there will be a main person who is working on a tenant. There will be a main person on a company level who is working on main tenant. Inside tenant, there may be having a multiple accounts, multiple projects. That is called workspaces. Okay. So very simple way I'll explain the diagram, the architecture. You no need to go for the process. So very simple way to explain the process is, let's example, I'll take my project only, the supermarket project. Okay. So where the data will come from the multiple places. The data may come from structured data, the data may come from semi-structured data, the data may come from any format. So the main role of ours, you are not going to just work on the particular tool. You're not only just working on the particular tool. Particular tool means nowadays the people are coming the reporting. Most I see the reporting people because they don't have right now the jobs. Because they are working on reporting part, and they even only the less part they are doing in reporting development, but they don't know how to develop the semantic model. And to develop the semantic model, they require data warehouse. To work with the data warehouse, they required some storages again back. Okay. And from there, we are dumping some data into some other layer. And then we are connecting here as your reporting, and that is your ETL. So very, very important architecture, this one. So I'll show you in this one, we are doing everything inside of Fabric. Let's example this treat as your structured data. Okay. Structured data, and let's treat this is my semi-structured data like your JSON data. Okay, JSON data, XML data, or you have some Parquet format data. Anyone know what is Parquet format, how it store the data? Nowadays we are using in data engineering the same format, Parquet. So there is a concept called delta Parquet format in data engineering. Most of the concepts we are using from this Parquet file only. Okay. So wherever the data it is, whatever the data it is, whatever the format, structure, semi-structure, unstructured, audio, video. So main our concept here is to extract this data by using your data pipelines. For this, there is a more demanded. If you know at least ETL, that is more demanded right now in the market. Okay, where we do extract process. What is that extract process? Transform process, and then finally we load this data to your data required, where we require data. So right now all the companies are using the data lake house or data lake. So in Azure we have a concept called data lake. In Azure, we have a concept called data lake. And in Fabric, we have a concept called lakehouse. The difference between data lake and lakehouse is it is a combination of plus warehouse called data lake house. Okay. But in some companies, they want to bring this data by using the different tools that they can do. Either you can use ETL or they want to move the data through data flow. Example, I just want to do, I don't know how to perform the ETL. So I have a concept called data flow gen 2. Okay. By using data flow gen, we can load this data back to your SQL databases. That is your fabric databases, where you can store the data in a readable format, or you can just store in terms of tables. Okay, and here you can store any format of data, any format. This is my main landing page. Landing page means main landing data. The company entire data we will be doing here because it store any format of data. So I'll show you example what is a format of data. So I'll show you practical also. We'll see this practical also, this architecture. Okay. So if you know how to use the ETL, we go with the data pipeline. That is what I told you in Fabric. You not only just working with data factory pipelines, you have a concept called data flow also, where you can do by using very simple way of graphical user interface. If you don't know how to write a query also, there is a visual queries are there. Easily we can do with that. So by using data flow, we can load this data to the Fabric database. From Fabric database, we can again connect your Spark notebooks. Okay. If you want to work with your notebooks and all, you want to do some data engineering work. So by connecting to either your warehouse or lakehouse or your Fabric database. So you can connect your Spark notebooks, PySpark, or by using this notebooks, you can write. If you don't know PySpark, you can write in SQL also, code it, and we can do a big data analysis, big data processing, okay, or big data query analysis. So this data we can store by using in your Fabric database. That is a serverless. This is also a serverless. You no need to worry about that. It is completely a server-based tool. Server-based tool means we are not installing anything. We are not physically installing it. It is going to be installed on cloud, where we can store serverless tool and we can access all the properties. You can connect with your Spark notebooks. You can connect with your what we call data flow. You can connect with your ETLs, or however you want. We can load this data. Okay, either by using data pipelines, by using a pipeline, by using data flow, by using your notebooks, we can load this data. So after getting this data into your data warehouse, we will be connecting to train this data in terms of semantic model. Okay, that is we call data models. So this data model, mostly we work on reporting side. Okay, reporting side. Or if the reporting developer, if they may not do the reporting, what generally we do here is just making a relationship, okay, between multiple tables, and making the process is very easy to drag and drop by the reporting developers. So then finally we do the reporting by using your insights, your charts, your other dashboards, however you want, you can develop. Okay, so if you observe here, even if I want to do something on this platform, okay, whether it's a data engineering, okay, even you can connect the data engineering model, where we can again bring the same data or or process data, and by using both this data we can train our ML models, okay, by using your different processing. So earlier what happened for storages, we are using separate cloud. We are using a separate cloud called Azure Microsoft Fabric. Okay, this is your Azure cloud, which is again from Microsoft. This is separate costing. Every month we are paying this billing. Every month we are paying, or yearly we are paying the billing to the Microsoft, and it is very costly. Very costly means in terms of services, what services you use, it will charge that amount. Even for the reporting also, you are using Power BI services. Power BI services, again, it is a very costly for licensing for pro license, premium license, or some what is it? Premium license. Premium license, and we have one more option that is called what you call pro premium, and some other license are there. So again, for that you need to pay separate cost for this one. For implementing, I have to use separate cost. For taking a services, I have to pay separate cost. For designing this ML model, I have to pay separate cost. Okay, this is also separate cost, you have to bear it for some other platform. And for data engineering, we will be using Databricks. I know if people are know about Databricks, they are separate portals, we are using it. So these all are migrated inside simple tool called Fabric, with a one capacity called F64. Okay, this is for free trial. You don't need to pay for anything. This is a maximum capacity that giving for a free users. This is a free users which is given by Microsoft for practicing with your all kind of services with one single capacity. That is F64. It start with the capacity from F22. It start with the capacity called F22 F2048. Max is 2048. 2048. So in between we are using the capacity called F64, which is all type of work, all type of license that we have. You no need to pay separately for this one, no need to pay for the Azure, no need to pay for any other service. It is a very simple process. Similarly, if you go, as take your example for your restaurant, if you go to the restaurant, what generally we do there, we order some products, we order some dishes. So instead of buying a single individual dishes, that is to up to limited, if we same thing, if we go for the buffet will having unlimited food with all type of dishes with. So that is very in less cost compared to your single ordering the products. The similar case, Microsoft come across with a single concept where you no need to order a single products, where you are already doing in Azure, where you are already doing in the Azure, you no need to do on a single process. So in portal, in Azure portal, what we are doing it, we are ordering single products, and that is for single each service. How much you are using, you have to pay the cost for that. You use or you don't use, if you order this product, you have to pay the cost. If you use or you don't use, if you order this product, you have to bear the cost in the Azure portal. Even for the reporting license also, if you purchase the pro or premium, you have to pay the license. If you work or don't work, if you're using the Apache Spark engine, when you start the engine, Apache Spark engine, when you start it, why we are using Apache Spark engine? Because to overcome with the Hadoop concept, we are using this Apache Spark. So there are many topics are there inside this. We'll discuss that going further. So if you observe here, this is my Azure portal. Inside Azure portal, if I want to order the storage also, I have to pay. Inside Azure portal, I want to go with the ETL, I want to pay. Machines, Databricks, data analysis, data lake, everything you order it, you have to pay the cost. Even for the database also, SQL database, you have to pay the cost. And I'll show you the billing actually. I'll show you the billing here. If you see, this is my portal. Even for the reporting also, I need to go to the Power BI app.powerbi.com, right? App.somepowerbi.com. I have to pay separate cost for this one portal. If I want to go with the data engineering, I have to go the Databricks concept. There's a separate company who's providing these engines, right? So similarly, if you see my billing charges, so not only terms of billing, guys, it is everything. It is integrated inside a Fabric. So completely, the next will be of work on Fabric. See here, my resources, my cost analysis. If you see, this is a pay as you go. This is a premium account. It is not a free account. You people are going to practice with free account only. Okay, how to create a free account, I'll show you. See, this is each project wise. So each project wise, what are the costs? For particular day, I'm charging for data factory this amount, database is this one, storage is some minimum amount, bandwidth some. If I see some other, let's take some last 3 months invoice, or if you observe most of the in Azure data BA, we mostly focus on data factory that is highly cost, and then this is the storages, and this is something like uh, we are just making sure that once the process is complete, we are deleting it. Otherwise, that is not charging more than this amount. Storages, virtual machines, Azure Synapse Analytics database. Then we are using some basic Fabric resources, virtual machines, some logic app for sending email alerts. These are the different services we're using. Where we are using is all in the East US location in this particular data center. So cloud, it doesn't mean that it's going to store in the cloud. It is a backend. There is a data centers. There's a backend data center on behalf of you. Some virtually you are accessing it, but behalf of you, somebody is working, somebody is deploying your scripts. Similarly, if you want to go for this all, then they implemented a concept called Fabric by Microsoft itself. So if you see the Microsoft Fabric capacities, okay, Fabric capacity or pricings. So it works on two things. One is basis on the capacity. Okay, capacity works on two things. One is basis on the units, that is SKUs, stock exchange unit we call, or if this is nothing but a compute power. Compute power, you can say compute power, where we have a CPUs, RAM, memory, input output units. Okay, IOs. Another one is very minimum charges on storages. How much TBs you maintain, the TBs, GBs. So that is all are included inside one process called capacity, F22 F2048 2048. Okay, so you use all your services, just pay the capacity what you select, same like your buffet which you generally prefer in the restaurants, right? So this is my Microsoft Fabric capacities. These are the starting of pricing, capacity pricings with F22 F64 we are here, and followed by last capacities, maximum capacity F024, which is highly premium. But what we are going to see inside of Fabric, free trial, which is for 2 months, you can use for 2 months, which is maximum Microsoft giving you for a capacity this month. This is the capacity value it is giving you for free trial. And along with that, and also there's the charges basis on the storages. Okay, we discussed about the capacity, nothing but a compute power, and plus storages. What type of storages you use, accordingly the charges will be applied. So use the normal storages, you use the database storages, you use some this one. So you no need to worry about the single individually services. Everything is included inside a capacity process, F64 capacity. Okay, so here how can I create a capacity here? So when you create a service, either you can directly create the account, or you can log into app.fabric.microsoft.com. So guys, there is no hidden portals that we are doing here in a practice or in real time. There's a hidden portal. No, it is the same portal which we are doing here, and in the real time also we do with the same portal only. No other hidden portals. Okay, so there are different services that we have. So we have a copy jobs process. We have a data pipelines, generation 2, warehouse, fabric, lakehouse, notebooks, Spark notebooks, Apache Spark, semantic model, reporting, some alerts, configurations. These all are different components that we are going to work. Okay, different pipelines. These are different pipelines, different flows. How we are going to load this data through pipelines. Okay, if you don't know how to, it is very easy way to develop, because Microsoft is such a tool that easily we can understand the process. Okay, easily we can see how to do it. Similarly, your data flow concept, if you don't know how to do, you can implement your data flow process. You can develop your data flow by using a Power Query window. But in Power Query, you just do the transformation. Here we, along with the transformations, we load the data into the targets. That is called destination. With the multiple destinations. So similarly, we have Apache Spark notebooks. So you no need to create a separate engine for that, where we do in the data bricks. But here it is more faster than the data bricks. The moment I start my engine, it just in 5 seconds, it start executing the process. Just in 5 seconds, the engine will be ready. And wherever you want to connect, whether you want to connect lakehouse, warehouse, your databases, all type of operations it supports. If you don't know PySpark, if you know SQL, you can convert the SQL into PySpark. If you don't know PySpark, you can convert it to SQL. And there's a T-SQL for your data warehouses. But for any course, there is a minimum SQL is required, guys. Minimum SQL basic is required. Similarly, you have a copy jobs, data pipelines, data warehouse concept, lakehouse concept. In this lakehouse, earlier in your Azure, we have a concept called data lake. This is a data lake concept. Data lake concept is something where we store any limit or any amount of data, like a big data we can store here, any format of data. But additional to that, Microsoft, see, earlier what is the system? Earlier we are using data warehouse systems. Data warehouse for what we are doing it earlier. We are planning it. For what we are planning it? We are planning for what data is required for your reporting end users. In our BI process, earlier we are planning what my client is want in the report, only that data we are showing in the reporting level, and that data only we are extracting it from the sources system. And it is very heavy. Heavy means in terms of development. If tomorrow they ask you some changes, you have to bring that data, you have to design your ETL, and you have to bring that data in data warehouse. That is earlier systems. Standard system, 90s, we do this follows. Then after that, we got a concept called data lake. Data lake, it's not only help you with the structured data, it support any format of data, whether it's audio, video, images, JSON, Parquet, any format of data it support. And the main important of this data lake is all kind of data we can store or we can lake in one centralized place. And from there, whatever you want to design your models, you can do that. Otherwise, you want to do some data warehousing, you can do through ETL, and you can design some proper standard reports. See, end of the day, whatever the format you store, your report must go as a structure, understandable format. That is what there is a compulsory we need to understand what is data warehouse. And there's a compulsory we required is ETL knowledge. So as of now, we are here. People are who work on Power BI, having a single tool is not going to work. Again, I'm saying. Because what is your work apart from this reporting development? What is your work? If any data issues are there, who is going to work on data related issues? If their formats are different formats, they don't know this entire process. So that is what we have to be know every single process, how the data is working. From end to end, we have to understand. This is called data engineering, data analysis, data training model. The complete end to end we are learning about the BI process. This is end to end BI process. BI means not only just reporting analysis, BI means everything will come under a process. The process which you are making easy for the reporting as well as for the business to take the decisions on a business decisions. So nowadays we have a concept called lakehouse. Even the extra layer they added here. What is that extra layer called? Delta layer we call. Delta layer means this is a property. What property? Data warehouse plus data lake is equivalent to your data lakehouse concepts. So what is the properties? earlier, not only with the data warehouse, with the data lake, these all combinations they are giving you inside a delta process. We call delta lake. Delta lake inside your lake house. So that is the extra property is given in the lake house in Fabric. So how to develop that? So we have a different operation. See, this is my data lake house. This is my lake house. Inside lake house, we have a tables that is called data warehouse tables. And if you don't know how to read this data, Parquet data, JSON data, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, Parquet format data is there. There's a JSON format is data is there. There's a different formats data is there. So easily we can convert this format into table format, and through table format easily we can see the data analysis. Easily we can do the options. Okay, by using one concept called semantic endpoints. So that is a semantic endpoints, SQL endpoints. By using SQL endpoints, whatever the queries you want to do with the different formats of data, we can easily do that. This is my different formats of data. Even you can prepare this table like Excel. Okay, you can work like Excel, which in Excel, how we are filtering out. Similarly, we can do this all actions like Excel options. Okay. So in the next session, I'll show you the practically what we discussed today. The practical from scratch, we'll see till the reports deliver. Okay, you no need to go separate reporting tool Power BI. If you want to do any reporting sort, you can directly do here only. See here. So you don't need to go separate Power BI reportings. If you want to design this report, simply go and design in which form you want to design. Visualize result. Yes, I want to visualize the result. I want to just see the data visualizations here only. The result itself, I want to see the visualizations. Yes, you can do that. So with this data, I want to apply some reports. I want to see the salary wise, their locations. I can do that easily. Okay, salary wise, I want to see the addresses. Simple view. And you want to share, save and report and share with someone. This is my overall cost. Okay, very simple way. So, but we will be discussing all these modules in a regular class. So there are many other modules are there. So we'll discuss that. Clear? Any questions, any doubts so far?